Welcome to episode 43 of our series on the origins of Appalachian and Southern surnames. First, I have to offer special thanks to those of you who have sent requests and offered supportive comments. I greatly appreciate you. Each of the family names we'll cover today, like always, was requested by members of our YouTube community. You might note that I discuss surnames in the order that I received them. I'm posting an email address to the Vantage Point in the description so you can request a surname catalog. It lists the 460 surnames and their respective episodes that we've covered thus far. If you would, please make sure that you put the surname requests in the comments section. That'll help other viewers see what might be coming up soon. On today's show, we're going to go back in time to the Dark Ages and maybe even before to find the origins of 10 common and not so common Appalachian and Southern family names. Let's get going. Number 1, Yates. As most of our ancestors in the 17th and 18th centuries had limited reading and writing skills, they were prone to change their surnames. As the old commercial used to suggest, phonics worked for them. Well, Yates, according to the Dictionary of American Family Names, is such a name. In the Old Country, in this case Holland and Northern Germany, the J makes a Y sound as in ya for yes. They also use the Z quite a bit. It shouldn't come as a surprise then that the original spelling was J-A-N-Z-E, Z, no E. I think that we in the South and Appalachia should consider Yates an Americanized form of a Dutch-German surname. Number 2, Parrot. About 2 miles from my house lies one of the prettiest cemeteries that I've seen on this side of the Atlantic. It's nestled in the beautiful Powell Valley of East Tennessee, about 12 miles from the Cumberland Gap. One of the more prominent families resting in that hallowed place is Parrot. I'm tempted to tell you that Parrot folk were pirates and the chatty bird was their favorite pet, but I'll resist that temptation. Parrot is in fact derived from the French personal name. It started its existence as a nickname for one who either had a bird as a pet or they might have looked like one. Aside from England, it's found in Scotland, but Black admits that it's a French derivation. At the end of the day, I think we can call Parrot an anglicized French surname. Number 3, Kinder. Forms of this Teutonic surname are scattered across Northern Europe and England. In German-speaking lands, the root word means child or kid. In England, though, it's a place name. Harrison points to Derbyshire as its place of origin. I think we're safe in calling Kinder a German or English surname, depending on where your line originated. Number 3, Wingfield. I must admit that when I received this request, I wasn't sure that I would find anything on it, but lo and behold, I did. Winga is an old Anglo-Saxon personal name. In Derbyshire, England, there was a pasture and farm that apparently belonged to a person named Winga. The surname meant Winga's field, so over time, Winga's name became Wingfield. Wingfield is found in Ireland, but it's not particularly common on the Emerald Isle. At the end of the day, I think Wingfield is a quintessential English surname. Rose. I must admit that when I read the request for Rose, I immediately thought of my youngest grandbaby, Rosie, aka the Rose Petal. Next, my mind went to Rose, the lovesick girl on the deck of the Titanic, but none of those images feature a person with the surname Rose. So, from whence did it come? Rose has at least 3 origins. 2 are Anglo-French. Think Norman conquest. One is derived from a nickname connected to the flower, and the other means the son of Roe, like Mike Roe. In Wales and Scotland, though, it referred to a dweller by a moor. In Ireland, McCauley tells us that it's quite common in County Limerick and was derived from the shrubby flower. It's found in Irish records back to the 14th century. The Irish roses, however, were of English origin. I think one would need a paper trail to track down the origin of your line of rose. Next, Yates. When I received this request, I immediately thought of the Irish writer William Butler Yates, born in 1865, died in 1939. A little digging revealed that W.D. Yates was a member of a Protestant Anglo-Irish community in Ireland. The Yates surname is Old English. It meant dweller at a gate. Yates is also found in Scotland. It has the same meaning across the Bonny Land as it does in England. It's been in the Scottish records, though, since the 14th century, so a person named Yates in Appalachia or the South could have Irish, Scottish, English, or Welsh ancestors who carried an English surname. Next, Queen or McQueen. Does the name Queen suggest that one is the king of cool? Well, that's how many people regard Steve McQueen. One of the reasons why I bought a Triumph Scrambler 1200 is because of its association with Steve McQueen. If you remember the movie The Great Escape, Steve steals a German soldier's bike. While it looks like a World War II era motorcycle, it's a modified 1961 Triumph TR6. Nonetheless, it gave rise to the Scrambler type of motorcycle. You can see more modern versions of the Scrambler in Chris Pratt's Jurassic movies, as well as the latest James Bond flick. Scramblers can go off-road as well as on the tarmac. In England, back to the surname, Queen was derived as a nickname, but in Scotland, McQueen is a well-established surname. McQueen is also found in Ireland, but it's considered to be a Scottish derivation. It's important to know that Mick and O prefixes are often fluid in names. They can be used or they can be removed. Nevertheless, I think we're safe in calling Queen an English surname, while McQueen is Scottish or Scots-Irish. Mulcahy or Mulcahy. When I received Mulcahy, I thought that someone in this family really liked vowels and phonics. It took me a little while to find that this mainly County Munster surname is actually spelled like this, and its Gaelic version is like that. I'm not sure that any version is easier to pronounce. I think we're safe in calling McCauley or McCauley, I'll get it straight in a minute, an Irish surname. Mitchuson or Mitchuson. This English surname is derived from the son of Mitchell. Mitchell, as we learned in episode 17, is based on the Anglo-Hebrew name Michael. In Scotland, it takes the form of Mitchuson or Mitchuson, spelled either way. Two L's or no, one L. It's not found among the common surnames in Ireland or Wales. At the end of the day, I think that Mitchuson is best labeled as an English surname, while Mitchuson is Scottish. Galloway. This Celtic name means the land of the foreign Gaels. It's toponymic from southwestern Scotland. Folks named Galloway are numerous in Ulster. You might note that Galloway, Scotland and Ulster are separated by the narrow north channel of the Irish Sea. Galloway is certainly a Scots-Irish or Scottish surname. Well folks, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If demand warrants it, I'll be back soon with episode 44 of our series on the surnames of Appalachia and the American South. Till then, may the good Lord smile on you and yours. Bye-bye.